Can women teach men? According to the word of our Father, sons are men from the moment of conception. Here's testimony to support this conclusion. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. This is found in Bereshit 2:7. This passage is essentially saying that sons are men from the moment they are fashioned by the hands of our Father. The following testimony also supports this conclusion. And Adam knew Kavah, which is Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah. This is in Bereshit 4:1. Can women teach their sons who are men? Fathers and mothers are instructed to teach their children the ways of our Heavenly Father in Devarim 6:6-7. And these words which I command you this day shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. The responsibility to teach children, which includes sons and daughters, rests upon the shoulders of both father and mother. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. This is found in Bereshit 1:28. The prophetess Deborah is an example. She is identified as a mother over the house of Yasharel, which included men. The inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Yasharel until when I, Deborah, arose, and I arose a mother in Yasharel. This is in Shoftim, Judges 5:7. Deborah was a mother to sons that she did not personally bear. Deborah was a prophetess, judge, and mother over the house of Yasharel. They were her spiritual children. And the children of Yasharel cried unto Yahuwah, for he had 900 chariots of iron. In 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Yasharel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Yasharel at that time. This is found in Shoftim, Judges 4:3-4. Based on testimony, we know Yahuwah was with Deborah because the house of Yasharel prevailed in battle against Sisera. And she said, I will surely go with you. Notwithstanding, the journey that you take shall not be for your honor, for Yahuwah shall deliver Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. Shoftim 4-9. Deborah reigned for 40 years over the house of Yasharel, and they experienced significant shalom under her power. This was after the law was established by the prophet Moshe. If it was against the laws of our Father for a woman to be a prophetess, judge, and mother to men, then Yahuwah would not have supported her and her reign. The house of Yasharel sought her wisdom, and she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in Mount Ephraim, and the children of Yasharel came up to her for judgment. This is found in Shoftim 4:5. Deborah was a faithful vessel used by our Elohim. Huldah was also a prophetess sought by the high priest and other leaders from the house of Yehudah. So Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam, and Akbor, and Shaphan, and Ashiah went unto Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikvah, the son of Haras, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they communed with her. This is found in 2 Melachim 22:14. The high priest, who is responsible for teaching the whole house of Yasharel, sought wisdom from a woman. This was not a violation against the laws of Yahuwah also. The laws of Yahuwah allow a woman to hold the office of prophetess, judge, and mother. There is no prohibition against it. Prophets speak the words of Yahuwah Elohim. Prophets predict events that will occur, and they come to pass. Prophets teach people to hear and obey all of the laws of Yahuwah. Prophets live according to all of the laws of Yahuwah. Judges judge according to the words of Yahuwah Elohim. Mothers teach their children to obey all of the laws of Yahuwah. These same standards apply to all women leaders who are qualified to teach on behalf of Yahuwah and to represent him as leaders, prophetesses, and judges. These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Does this woman teach people to hear and obey all of the commandments of Yahuwah in the law of Moshe? Does this woman live by all the commandments of Yahuwah written in the law? Does she have knowledge and wisdom to impart to me? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. If the answer is yes to these questions, then it is permissible for this woman to teach men. It is an exercise in wisdom to consider her words and her teachings. If Yahuwah has chosen her to do his work, then he is using her to advance his kingdom. Yahuwah actually expects people to listen to her and to show her respect. I am a woman. If I have knowledge and wisdom regarding the use of our Father's name, and a man has not learned these concepts, then it is permissible for me to teach him what I know about our Father's name. If I have knowledge and wisdom regarding faith from an ancient Hebrew perspective, and a man is not aware of this information, it is permissible for this man to learn from me. I have something to impart to him. If I have knowledge and wisdom regarding the Hebrew word kiseh from an ancient Hebrew perspective, and a man does not know anything about this word, it is permissible for me to teach this man. I still have something to impart to him. When my spiritual sons have learned everything that I know about our Father and his word, I have nothing left to impart to them. I can no longer teach them anything. They must seek another mentor who can teach them. There is a teaching in the eyewitness accounts that contradicts the laws of Yahuwah. It is found in 1 Timothy 2:11-12. It says, "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." Deborah's example contradicts these words. We have to realize that Yahuwah does not make mistakes. This passage presents a contradiction to the laws of Yahuwah. Which teaching is true? Yahuwah's law says women were created with the mouth so they can speak. 1 Timothy 2:11-12 says women are to be silent. Yahuwah's law says women can be prophetesses, judges, and leaders over men. 1 Timothy 2:11-12 says that women cannot teach men. Women cannot exercise authority over men. Which one is true? We have to realize that both teachings cannot be true. One is true and one is false. Women have a mouth. They can communicate. They can speak what is upon their hearts and what they have learned. They have a mind and the ability to learn. They can ask questions and comprehend the answers. Our Father created a woman with a mind and a mouth just like he did with man. Is it possible our Father intended a woman to use these attributes just like a man does? Can our Father use the mouth of a woman just like he uses the mouth of a man? If our Father is using a woman to speak on his behalf, should we listen to her? For this reason, we can conclude that 1 Timothy 2:11-12 is not a law established by Yahuwah Elohim. It is clearly a cultural preference conveyed by the author. However, people treat these words in 1 Timothy 2:11-12 as if they were the laws of Yahuwah. We know the writings of the prophet Moshe are the laws of Yahuwah. Can our Father contradict himself? If I follow the law of Moshe and someone else believes the writings of Timothy are also the laws of Yahuwah, then we have disunity. Our Father settles the matter. He says, "You shall not add to the words which I command you, neither shall you subtract from it, that you may keep the commandments of Yahuwah your mighty one, which I command you." This is found in Devarim 4:2. People who believe 1 Timothy 2:11-12 are laws established by our Father are adding to the laws of our Father. This action is a sin because it violates the law spoken by our Father in Devarim 4:2. If the author intended these words spoken in 1 Timothy 2:11-12 to be viewed as laws from our Father, then he is classified as a false prophet according to the law. The law says, "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder comes to pass, that he spoke unto you, saying, Let us follow other mighty ones which you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not hear and obey the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahuwah your mighty one tests you, to know whether you love Yahuwah your mighty one with all your heart and with all your soul. You shall walk after Yahuwah your mighty one, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice. And you shall serve him, and cleave to him, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahuwah your mighty one, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way which Yahuwah your mighty one commanded you to walk in, So shall you put the evil away from the midst of you. This is found in Devarim 13, 1-5. False prophets, teachers, and leaders teach people to disobey the laws written by the prophet Moshe. That's what this law is saying. False prophets are wolves among our Father's flock. Our Father does not prohibit women from speaking in his laws. Our Father does not prohibit women from exercising authority over men. Our Father does not prohibit women from teaching men in his laws. 1 Timothy 2:11-12 is a law established by another authority. This authority prohibits women from speaking in their laws. This authority prohibits women from exercising authority over men. This authority prohibits women from teaching men in their laws. Which authority are we going to obey? Yahuwah Elohim or the author of Timothy? We are going to obey one or the other. We cannot obey both because these two laws contradict one another. If we obey the words spoken in Timothy, then we are obeying the voice of another mighty one and not the voice of our Father. This individual is causing people to turn away from the laws of our Father, just like Devarim 13, 1-5 says. 1 Timothy 2:11-12 becomes a stumbling block for those who believe it is the law of our Father. If our Father raised up another woman like Deborah, people who adhere to these words in 1 Timothy 2:11-12 would ignore her at their own peril. If Yahuwah has done it once, he can and will do it again. It is permissible under his law. 1 Timothy 2:11-12 is essentially an effort to keep women under the following curse. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow shall you bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. This is in Bereshit 3:16. Men ruling over women is a curse of the law. It was not this way before Adam and Chava ate from the forbidden tree. Woman was not taken from the head of a man to rule over him. She was not taken from the feet of man to be trampled upon. She was taken from his side to be equal to man. This is our Father's original design. Messiah Yahusha came to free us from the curse of this law, which means husbands will no longer rule over their wives. Women have been set free from this curse. Messiah has redeemed us from the curse of the law being made a curse for us, for it is written, Cursed is every one that hangs on a tree. This is found in Galatians 3:13. Why are some of our brothers still trying to subject us to the curse when we have been set free by our Messiah? This law in Timothy does not give women the freedom experienced by the prophetess Deborah and the prophetess Huldah, which occurred prior to the redemption provided by our Messiah. Where are our brothers in Messiah who will stand up and defend a woman's right to speak? I am not claiming to be a prophetess, judge, or a leader. I am a mother who cares about the welfare of her children. Mothers want their sons and daughters to excel them in stature, knowledge, and wisdom. The same is true of spiritual mothers. The heart of a mother is to see her children stand upon her shoulders and go beyond all that she's accomplished. But it also breaks a mother's heart when her children refuse to listen to her wisdom. Women are intelligent. They have just as much value in our Father's kingdom as men. They have a voice that can be used for good and evil, just like men. Does this man or woman teach in alignment with all of the commandments of our Father? Is this man or woman's life in alignment with all of the commandments of our Father? Does he or she have wisdom and knowledge that I do not have? If this is the case, then it is wisdom to learn from him or her. King Shlomo says, My son, keep your father's commandments and forsake not the law, the Torah, of your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart and tie them about your neck. This is found in Mishlei, Proverbs 6:20-21. Here's the question. Can women teach men? Yes. The laws of our Father allow a woman to occupy the offices of prophetess, judge, leader, mother, and teacher. Women are born with a mind that can think and a mouth that can speak. Our Father gave women these things. Women have a voice. Evidence illustrates that our Father has used women many times to advance his cause. If he has done it once, he can and will do it again. Here is a message to my very sweet, special sisters. My sisters, we have been redeemed from the curse of the law, and it will finally be realized when our Messiah returns. Our Father and Messiah want you to know that you are important to them. Your voice matters. You are a precious treasure in the kingdom of our Father, and they want you to understand your true value. You are an integral part in the kingdom of our Father. You must rise up and fulfill the calling set before you. Men are not our enemy. Deception is our enemy. We defeat deception with the truth in our Father's word. This presentation is only a fraction of the evidence that we have to support this idea that women can teach men. If you would like to know more information, please visit us at ourfathersway.com.